The Caribbean islands, a string of pearls scattered across the turquoise canvas of the Atlantic, evoke images of paradise. Sun-drenched beaches, swaying palm trees and crystal-clear waters teeming with life. But beneath this idyllic facade lies a history etched by nature's raw power. These islands, born from volcanic fire and sculpted by the relentless forces of wind and wave, have long borne witness to the awe-inspiring and, at times, devastating forces that shape our planet. From the fury of hurricanes to the tremors of earthquakes, the Caribbean has faced a relentless barrage of natural disasters throughout its history. These events, as tragic as they are, offer a glimpse into the immense power of the natural world and the resilience of the human spirit. They remind us of the delicate balance we share with our environment and the importance of understanding the forces that shape our world. Join us now as we journey through the annals of history to explore the top 10 deadliest disasters to have struck this beautiful yet vulnerable corner of the world. February 2024. The Dominican Republic, a nation known for its vibrant culture and joyous spirit, found itself grappling with unimaginable tragedy. In the heart of Santo Domingo, its bustling capital city, a popular nightclub, usually alive with music and laughter, became a scene of terror. As the night wore on and the club pulsed with energy, a hidden danger lurked within its walls. An electrical short, a silent spark in the darkness, ignited a fire that would quickly engulf the entire structure. The inferno, fueled by flammable materials and fueled by the night air, spread with terrifying speed. Trapped inside, hundreds of partygoers found themselves caught in a desperate struggle for survival. Panic surged as thick smoke filled the air, plunging the club into darkness. Escape routes were limited, and the lack of adequate emergency exits turned the venue into a death trap. The world watched in horror as news of the disaster spread, the tragedy a stark reminder of the importance of safety regulations and the devastating consequences when they are ignored. In the face of unimaginable chaos, stories of extraordinary courage and compassion emerged. First responders, risking their own lives, raced into the inferno to pull survivors from the flames. Ordinary citizens, transformed into heroes by circumstance, joined the desperate rescue effort, forming human chains to help evacuate those trapped inside. The fire, extinguished after a grueling battle, left behind a scene of utter devastation. The once vibrant club reduced to a smouldering shell, a grim monument to the lives tragically cut short and the enduring pain of those who lost loved ones. The disaster sent shockwaves throughout the Dominican Republic and beyond, prompting a wave of grief and national introspection. The tragedy served as a wake-up call, exposing the often overlooked dangers of inadequate safety measures in public venues. In the wake of the fire, the government vowed to implement stricter safety regulations and enforcement, a promise made in the shadow of unimaginable loss, a commitment to ensuring that such a tragedy would never darken their shores again. The island of Dominica, a jewel of the Eastern Caribbean, is a place where lush rainforests cloak volcanic peaks. But in September 2017, this tranquil paradise found itself in the crosshairs of Hurricane Maria. As Maria churned across the Atlantic, the people of Dominica braced themselves for the storm's fury. On the evening of September 18th, Maria slammed into Dominica as a Category 5 hurricane. As dawn broke over Dominica, the true extent of Maria's wrath became horrifyingly clear. The once vibrant island lay in ruins, its lush landscapes transformed into a desolate wasteland. The storm's ferocious winds had shredded Dominica's rainforests. Rivers, swollen by torrential rainfall, had transformed into raging torrents. Landslides scarred the island's volcanic slopes, swallowing homes and cutting off roads. Maria's devastation served as a stark reminder of the Caribbean's vulnerability to extreme weather events. The Caribbean, a paradise of sun-drenched beaches and vibrant cultures, also harbours a darker side. It is a region forged by nature's raw power, where beauty and danger exist in a delicate balance. And sometimes that balance is shattered, as it was in Martinique in 1902. Mount Pelée, a seemingly dormant giant, began to stir, sending tremors through the island. But it was not the eruption that would deliver the first blow. The Duquesne River, usually a lifeline for communities along its banks, was about to transform into a raging torrent. Heavy rains, intensified by the volcanic activity, swelled the river beyond its limits. What followed was a devastating flash flood, a wall of water carrying mud, debris and even boulders crashing through towns and villages. The speed and ferocity of the flood left little time for escape. Homes were reduced to rubble, their foundations no match for the river's wrath. Bridges collapsed, cutting off escape routes and isolating communities. For many, the raging waters of the Duquesne became a watery grave, a stark reminder of nature's unpredictable fury. The Duquesne River flood claimed nearly 1,000 lives, a tragedy etched in Martinique's history. The disaster left scars on the landscape and in the memories of survivors. The eruption of Mount Pelée overshadowed the flood's devastation. The Duquesne River flood reminds us that disaster can take many forms. It underscores the importance of respecting the forces that shape our world. In January 2010, a nation was brought to its knees. Haiti, the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere, was struck by a catastrophic earthquake. The earth shook, buildings crumbled, and over 230,000 lives were lost in an instant. The world watched in horror as the scale of the devastation unfolded. Amidst the rubble, a different kind of disaster was brewing, one that would add another layer of suffering to an already unimaginable tragedy. A cholera outbreak spread through contaminated water began to silently and swiftly weave its way through the devastated population. Cholera, a waterborne disease, thrives in environments lacking proper sanitation. With Haiti's infrastructure in ruins, clean water became a luxury few could afford. Makeshift camps erected to house the displaced became breeding grounds for the deadly bacteria. The symptoms were swift and merciless, severe diarrhea and vomiting leading to rapid dehydration. The most vulnerable, the young and the elderly, succumbed quickly. Hospitals, already overwhelmed with earthquake victims, were ill-equipped to handle this new wave of suffering. The cholera outbreak in Haiti was not simply a natural disaster, it was a man-made catastrophe. Investigations traced the source of the outbreak back to a camp for United Nations peacekeepers, where improper sanitation allowed the bacteria to contaminate the water supply. Over 800,000 people were infected, and over 10,000 lost their lives to this entirely preventable disease. The outbreak sparked international outrage, highlighting the devastating consequences of negligence and the urgent need for improved sanitation in developing countries. For Haiti, still reeling from the earthquake's devastation, the cholera outbreak was a cruel and unnecessary blow. It exposed the vulnerability of a nation struggling to recover, and it underscored the importance of international aid and responsible development practices. The fight against cholera in Haiti continues. While significant progress has been made in controlling the outbreak, the memory of this tragedy serves as a stark reminder of the fragility of life and the importance of global health security. It's a reminder that even in the 21st century, access to clean water and sanitation remains a matter of life and death. In the vast expanse of the Atlantic Ocean, a storm was brewing. Hurricane Dorian, a Category 5 monster, was on a collision course with the Bahamas. On September 1, 2019, Dorian made landfall on the Abaco Islands. Winds exceeding 185 miles per hour tore through the islands, turning once familiar landscapes into unrecognizable debris fields. When the storm finally moved on, leaving a trail of devastation in its wake, the true extent of the disaster became horrifyingly clear. At least 74 souls were lost in the Bahamas, with hundreds more still unaccounted for. The storm had left an indelible scar on the island nation, both physically and emotionally. The economic cost of Hurricane Dorian was staggering, estimated at over $3.4 billion. Homes were destroyed, businesses were leveled, and critical infrastructure was crippled. The storm's impact on tourism, a cornerstone of the Bahamian economy, was immediate and devastating. But amidst the wreckage, the indomitable spirit of the Bahamian people shone through. Neighbours helped neighbours, sharing what little food, water and shelter they had left. International aid poured in, providing much-needed relief to the devastated communities. The road to recovery for the Bahamas is long and arduous. Rebuilding will take years, and the scars of Hurricane Dorian will likely remain for generations. Yet the spirit of resilience and the unwavering determination to rebuild offer a beacon of hope in the face of unimaginable loss. The bustling port city of Kingston, Jamaica, a hub of trade and culture in the early 20th century, stood on the precipice of disaster. Unbeknownst to its inhabitants, the earth beneath their feet held a history of seismic unrest. On the morning of January 14, 1907, that slumbering giant awakened. At 3:30 p.m, a tremor shook the city, a subtle warning of the cataclysm to come. Buildings swayed and cracks appeared in the walls, sending tremors of fear through the hearts of the unsuspecting populace. Then, with a deafening roar, the earth lurched violently. The Santa Maria earthquake, a magnitude 6.5 on the Richter scale, ripped through the city. In an instant, Kingston's elegant colonial architecture crumbled into dust. The once familiar streets transformed into a treacherous labyrinth of debris. Buildings lay in ruins, their facades ripped away to expose the shattered lives within. The air hung heavy with the dust of pulverized masonry and the cries of the injured and trapped. As if the earthquake's wrath wasn't enough, a new horror emerged from the ruins. Fires, ignited by ruptured gas lines and overturned cooking stoves, quickly spread through the wreckage. The inferno raged for days, consuming what the earthquake had spared and compounding the already unimaginable devastation. The Santa Maria earthquake claimed the lives of over 1,000 souls, leaving a scar on Jamaica's soul that would linger for generations. The disaster exposed the vulnerability of Kingston's infrastructure and the inadequacy of its disaster preparedness. From the ashes of destruction, however, rose a spirit of resilience. The people of Kingston, united in grief and loss, began the arduous task of rebuilding their shattered city. The tragedy served as a harsh but valuable lesson, prompting the implementation of stricter building codes and disaster preparedness measures. The Santa Maria earthquake stands as a stark reminder of the capricious nature of our planet and the importance of respecting the forces that shape it. It is a testament to the indomitable human spirit, capable of enduring even the most devastating blows and emerging stronger from the ruins. In September 1988, a tempest was brewing in the Atlantic, destined to etch its name into Caribbean history. Hurricane Gilbert, a storm of unprecedented fury, was born. Gaining strength as it churned westward, Gilbert swelled into a monster, its eye holding the ominous calm before the storm. On September 12th, Gilbert slammed into Jamaica, packing winds of 185 miles per hour, a Category 5 hurricane, the highest on the Saffir-Simpson scale. The island nation, caught in the storm's crosshairs, braced for the onslaught. Gilbert's impact was immediate and catastrophic. The hurricane's ferocious winds tore through the island, ripping roofs off homes, uprooting trees, and transforming everyday objects into deadly projectiles. Power lines snapped like thread, plunging the island into darkness. Across Jamaica, the relentless winds pushed a monstrous storm surge inland, inundating coastal communities and swallowing entire neighborhoods beneath walls of seawater. The island's lush landscapes, once vibrant with life, were stripped bare, leaving behind a trail of debris and devastation. In the wake of Gilbert's fury, the Caribbean lay wounded. Jamaica, bearing the brunt of the storm's power, faced a scene of unimaginable devastation. Homes were reduced to rubble, businesses lay in ruins, and the island's infrastructure was crippled. The human toll was significant, with 318 lives tragically lost across the region. The economic cost was staggering, $7.1 billion in damages, a devastating blow to a region still recovering from previous storms. Yet even in the face of such adversity, the spirit of the Caribbean people shone through. Neighbors helped neighbors, sharing food, water and shelter. International aid poured in, providing much-needed relief to the storm-ravaged islands. Hurricane Gilbert, while a stark reminder of nature's awesome power, also revealed the resilience of the human spirit. The road to recovery was long and arduous, but the people of the Caribbean, united in their determination, rebuilt their lives and their communities stronger than before. The island of Montserrat, a tranquil emerald gem nestled in the Caribbean Sea, held a secret deep within its heart, the Soufriere Hills volcano. Dormant for centuries, the volcano was a silent giant, an integral part of the island's identity, but not considered a threat. In July 1995, the slumbering giant stirred. The earth trembled with increasing frequency, and plumes of steam and ash began to erupt from the volcano's peak. These were the first ominous signs of the disaster to come. On July 18, 1995, the Soufriere Hills volcano erupted with terrifying force. Pyroclastic flows, superheated avalanches of gas, ash and rock, raced down the volcano's slopes, incinerating everything in their path. The once tranquil landscape was transformed into a scene of fiery devastation. The capital city of Plymouth, nestled in the shadow of the volcano, was directly in the path of destruction. Within hours, the city, once a vibrant hub of life, was consumed by a torrent of ash and mud. Buildings vanished beneath a blanket of volcanic debris, their outlines barely discernible. The eruption of the Soufriere Hills volcano forced a mass exodus from Montserrat. Thousands of islanders fled their homes, seeking refuge in the northern part of the island or overseas. The southern half of the island, once home to the majority of the population, was deemed uninhabitable. The immediate death toll from the eruption was mercifully low, with 19 confirmed fatalities. However, the long-term impact of the disaster was profound. The loss of homes, livelihoods, and the familiar rhythms of life left an indelible mark on the people of Montserrat. The eruption of the Soufriere Hills volcano is a stark reminder of the raw power that lies beneath the Earth's surface. It is a testament to the resilience of the human spirit, forced to adapt and rebuild in the face of unimaginable loss. Today, Montserrat remains a land of two halves. The north, a testament to the islanders' resilience, and the south, a haunting reminder of nature's untamed power. The Soufriere Hills volcano, though quieter now, continues to shape the destiny of this resilient island nation. While Hurricane Katrina is etched in our minds for its devastating impact on New Orleans, its journey of destruction began much earlier, leaving a trail of devastation across the Caribbean. Even in its infancy, Katrina unleashed winds of up to 140 miles per hour as it tore across islands like the Bahamas and Cuba. Homes were reduced to rubble. Palm trees, once swaying gently in the breeze, were snapped like twigs, and entire communities found themselves submerged beneath the relentless surge of the storm. Though not its final, brutal act, Katrina's early wrath served as a stark reminder of the Caribbean's vulnerability to the unyielding forces of nature. Dozens of lives were tragically lost in the storm's initial rampage, a stark testament to the raw power it carried across the Caribbean Sea. Thousands more were left displaced, their homes and livelihoods swept away in the blink of an eye. The economic toll was equally devastating, particularly for Cuba's tourism industry. The vibrant coral reefs that drew visitors from across the globe were battered and scarred, while the once pristine beaches were littered with debris. Hurricane Katrina may be remembered for its final act, but its echoes continue to resonate throughout the Caribbean to this day. On January 12, 2010, tragedy struck the heart of the Caribbean. At 4:53 p.m. local time, the earth beneath Haiti convulsed with a magnitude 7.0 earthquake, its epicenter lying just miles from the bustling capital of Port-au-Prince. The impact was immediate and catastrophic. Buildings, many of which were not built to withstand such seismic forces, crumbled into dust. Hospitals, schools and homes all vanished in a heartbeat, burying countless souls beneath their wreckage. The air filled with the deafening roar of collapsing concrete and the anguished cries of those trapped beneath the rubble. The official death toll stands as a chilling reminder of the earthquake's brutality. Over 230,000 lives lost. A figure that fails to encompass the true scale of the human cost. Over 300,000 individuals suffered injuries, many life-altering. More than 1.5 million people were left homeless, their lives upended in an instant. The world watched in horror as the true scale of the devastation unfolded. Aid poured in from across the globe, a testament to the shared humanity that binds us in times of crisis. Yet the road to recovery for Haiti remains long and arduous, a stark reminder of the devastating power that lies dormant beneath our feet. These stories of tragedy, though difficult to recount, serve as a poignant reminder that the Caribbean, for all its beauty and allure, is a region forged by both sunshine and storms. Yet amidst the ruins, a spirit of resilience shines through. Communities, bound by shared history and unwavering strength, come together to rebuild, brick by brick, life by life. These disasters, though they may scar the land, cannot extinguish the spirit of the Caribbean people. Let these stories serve as a call to action, a reminder of the importance of preparedness, of lending a helping hand, and of standing in solidarity with those who have lost so much. Which of these disasters resonated with you the most? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And be sure to like and subscribe to Invest Meets Travel for more compelling stories from every corner of our planet.